All right. And welcome everyone to the 10K Rum podcast. My name is Amos Joseph, joined by my co-host Brook Potter. How's it going, Brook?
It's going well, Amos. We just wrapped up with Religion Zero, discussing all these kinds of things. I am exhausted out of my mind.
Yeah.
I just had a quick espresso because we've got, big guests today. We're enjoying an attempt at spring out here in the UK. It's not like full spring, but it's like a half attempt, but that's how weather is out here in the UK. But yeah, we're getting along pretty well. How are you doing out there in Minnesota?
Oh, it's just raining. It's raining right now. There's I don't know if there's like a storm warning or something, but it's been raining all night, which is kind of nice.
You got to keep those lakes topped up, all those 10,000 lakes.
All 15,000 of them. Yeah. We actually, before we get into anything, I just want to quickly remind everyone, of course, to smash the like button, to, of course, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave comment if you guys do enjoy the show, subscribe to us on different podcasting platforms like iTunes, Google Play, and such. And then, of course, we are sponsored by the Tactical Soap Company. It's Grande Soap Company makes this awesome soap that doesn't fuck with your endocrine system, gives you a little bit of edge in game. You smell nice, chicks like it, and you basically enter in the 10K Rum coupon code for 10% off. That's 10K RUM. And then, of course, if you want to support us in any other way, you can support us for as little as $1 or up to $25 a month. That goes directly to us to help with the show, and which, of course, brings us to our $25 tier. Edmundo, who is our top tier guy. We thank you to Edmundo for supporting the show. But after all that, we have a guest, Brook.
Yes, we do. This has been a while coming. He is the internet rage sensation, singer of the hit song Toxic Masculinity, announcer for the Meathead Minutes, encruster of his best friend's teddy bear, the host of the Glorious House of Gainz podcast with over 1 million downloads, Robert Frank.
Wow.
How you doing, our friend?
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you just
coming
fine.
Through.
Because I know you gave me a super chat the other day on our podcast saying to get better internet. Our Wi-Fi here is all jacked up. Clearly, you can see by watching our podcast. So I'm hoping that we're good and there's no lag or delay on my end.
No, you're good. If it's just the streaming we use for this is definitely compresses everything. It's a lot better. Okay. The big thing we really try to get is just the audio for the podcast later on. But no, you're sounding really good. Okay. There's not going to be much problem because I think when you stream multiple people like you do with your podcast, that's probably why there's that lag. Then again, I'm not an expert, so okay. No, you're good, bro.
Neither are any of us, including Pody. He has problems doing anything.
So yeah, Robert, we have the first thing I actually wanted to touch on is something that everybody's been, you've been suggesting it for a while. What's your relationship with the trend?
Oh, damn, we're just going there, right? Right now, my relationship, we're on the outs right now. We're having a little disagreement, and yeah, I've been on specific doctor's orders since February to do a PCT, or what they call a post-cycle therapy, just to try to get my natural stuff going again. So I'm still sticking myself with needles, but it's not the good stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I know that at one point, everybody, that's kind of your shtick, like up the trend and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I just I have to, at least throw it out once.
No worries, bro. Yeah, right now we're on the outs, but we'll see what happens in a few months.
Fantastic.
Now, one quick thing I had to ask Rob is, how's that sweet tea looking?
How is the sweet tea looking?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I know you were talking about you're having some changes and stuff with obviously with going into the quarantine and stuff. You said, you're definitely getting healthier. I know that for sure, but you're definitely
Oh, are you talking about my urine color?
Yeah, you keep you keep kind of every other episode I'll hear something about sweet tea, and I'm just like,
oh yeah,
I can't drink sweet tea now, thanks to you, man.
sorry. No, right now it was bad for a while. I was for your listeners that don't know, I had some crap going on. I don't know what it was, but my urine was legit the color of like iced tea, like dark iced tea. So people are telling me that my kidneys are failing, my liver's failing, my gallbladder's failing, everything's failing. But I actually went and got a bunch of random tests done, and it was just simply a fact that I wasn't drinking enough water. Because I don't drink any water at all. I drink a little water with my pre-workout, but the rest of the day I'm drinking coffee and just nothing that's just plain water. So anyway, long story short, my urine went back to a normalish color where it was like, a hint of yellow, but mainly clear. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if I'm not drinking enough water anymore or what, but I'm back to like a let's call it a maybe like a Jack Daniels color now.
Excellent. Well, Robert, we wanted to kind of get a little bit of your story and the evolution of the character of Robert Frank.
Okay.
I mean, when you were young, did you have like aspirations of getting into the entertainment business? Like, did you always know you were going to be some kind of sensation, anything like that?
No. And it just like, I think if you plan for that stuff to happen, it could still happen, but it's harder to happen when like that's your goal. People like me and a lot of people like Logan Paul, and like name any big person, it happened by accident. Like, yeah, you were having fun. Like this turned into me doing videos and stuff, started out for fun. And then all of a sudden it turned into a career. When you say, I'm going to be a social media star, I'm going to have millions of followers, I'm going to make millions of dollars, it could still happen, but it's a lot harder. You got to get lucky. And that's basically what happened with me. But I would say that I have always been a showman. We used to backyard wrestle in my late teens, early 20s, putting on shows for people. So that's where I get the character of like the cutting promos and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's always been in me, but back when I was 19, 20, 25 years old, there was no internet, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
right.
I mean, did you perform in school plays or anything like that? Were you drama club?
Hell no.
Now, what about sports then in high school?
No, I never played any organized sports, but I grew up in a development where we played baseball every day, football every day, 6-on-6, because there was a lot of kids in my neighborhood. So I was very good at all sports, basketball, baseball, football, but I never did like the organized thing. The one time I tried to, my head was too small for a helmet and I got discouraged, and they were trying to put like padding inside of the helmet so it would stay on. And now, as my wife would say, my head is bigger than anybody's. So I wish
that's actually kind of surprising. Like just for you with the bodybuilding and how big you are is just right now, like that you've had absolutely really no organized sports, like not even like football.
No. And to be honest, I probably, my best sport was probably baseball. I was really good at baseball. And we played like in an adult league that we kind of put together ourselves. And, for years in a row, I was number one in home runs. Beard So Strong, who you guys had on the show, he was always right behind me. So yeah, I'm a natural athlete, man.
Yeah, we wanted to get into that a little bit about how you met, your co-hosts and Beard So Strong. Obviously, so Beard So Strong grew up in your neighborhood then.
Beard So Strong. Beard So Strong was in the adult league with me when we were
okay.
Ray, I grew up with Ray. I've known since I think I was 9, he was 8 when we met.
Wow.
And Beard So Strong, I met in my mid-20s. Joey and Vinny, I met in my mid-20s. And now I'm in my early to mid-40s. So I've known all these people for minimum 20 years.
Amazing.
So, Beard So Strong was actually my manager at one of the union job that I worked at. He worked for the company, I worked for the union, and he bossed me around all day, and we just became friends. And Joey and Vinny, I met at the gym. We're through the gym. And Ray, like I said, I've known since I was a little kid. And Jimmy, I've known since I was a little kid as well. But Jimmy disappeared for Jimmy Triceps we're talking about. He disappeared for maybe 10 to 15 years of my life. We were really good friends like in high school and right after high school. Then he went to the military, did his own thing for a couple of years. And just over the past 3 or 4 years, we kind of reconnected and back like we never left.
Is it true that the podcast was his idea originally? Is that right?
Yeah, he was Jimmy. I'll give Jimmy credit. Jimmy has given me a lot of ideas that I blew off in the beginning because I was like, either nobody's going to care, or nobody's going to sign up, or nobody's going to do this, or nobody. And then after a while, I'm just like, yo, let's try this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And everything has worked out so far. So I should be listening to Jimmy more than I do.
Tell him we said hi, man. Tell him we said hi.
I definitely will.
Now with you becoming, as popular as you have, and you tend to like started to kind of come into the, I guess, the sphere of social media celebrity. I know a lot of people will ask you, like, did that change anything about you being in public? Did it change, like, did you notice anything? Because like I see you as one of the few that, like, I mean, you'll definitely talk about like the drama outlets. You mentioned like Logan Paul and stuff. You'll definitely follow that, but you're not all about that. Like, you're not almost like sort of too good for the normal day stuff, the normal guy. That's why I think is a big appeal.
Yeah.
But when you kind of got into that, was there anything that kind of surprised you? Were there things that kind of threw you off when you started kind of connecting with a lot of these more popular people? And you don't have to name names. So I'm just curious.
No, I mean, do you mean like when I met like a Logan Paul or a Dan Bilzerian, or like,
is that like a different culture, or are they just like normal people for the most part? Like, or are they putting up on a lot of persona that you don't really, that's all they are?
Let me tell you something. I'll expose the business here. Jake Paul, Logan's little brother, who we did a video with.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he was at the time when we did that video. I don't even know how old he is now, but whatever it was like 2-3 years ago. He couldn't be any, like, you see him on YouTube videos. He's wacky. He's running around, screaming, jumping around, and like just being obnoxious. He is like the most polished, like professional behind the scenes. Like, he knows his shit. It's for everybody out there. I would say that it's all an act, or like they're just, like with the Robert Frank character, like the toxic masculinity, alpha male, like, yeah, that's me, but I really don't walk around with a bandana and oiled up and screaming at people. You know what I mean? So, but they're all cool. But it still to this day, any big influencer that's out there, I always, to me, feel like I don't belong there. Like if I'm at Dan's house around Chris Brown and Logan Paul and King Batch and God knows who else, Elon Musk, The Weeknd, I'm at these parties with these people and I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? It's so weird to me. And it's weird to me when they know who I am, because they'll come up to me and be like, yo, I saw that video of blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, holy shit, like I can't believe it.
Who's the most popular celebrity that has recognized you?
I would say Chris Brown. I was at Dan Bilzerian's house last September for the Ignite launch party, and Chris Brown was sitting there with Bradley Martin, a couple other people, like a lot of people that were in Chris Brown's crew. And from maybe 20 feet away, he gets up and he starts walking towards me. And I'm like, shitting my pants. I'm like, oh man. And he was like, yo, I just want to say what's up, man. I'm a big fan. I'm like, holy shit. So Chris Brown definitely would be number one. But there's a lot of people. There's Dan, Joe Rogan. I can't think of a lot of people.
Have you met Joe Rogan in person?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But we've had quite a few conversations via DM, and I'm just waiting for the call to go on his show. So Joe Rogan, if you're listening to this, I'm ready, baby.
Oh, dude, if he's listening to this,
you've reached the big time. You also had a.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, I was saying you also had a little spat with The Rock, which was pretty epic. That wasn't a very long thing. If you want to just kind of share that story for really quick.
I forgot about her.
She's in your song.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I mean, that a lot of that is just satire, but Yeah, I guess maybe he would be the most popular, right? That has recognized, well, not recognized me in person, but has reached out to me. It was my birthday of 2000. Now, The Rock started following me. I want to say it was December of. I started making the videos. The videos started going viral. July of 2016, and almost like every video that I was putting out was just getting more and more attention, more attention, more attention. December of 2016, so about 5 months into the run, I get a follow from Rock, and I'm like, holy shit, like is this real? But I saw his verified badge, it was his account. So I played it cool. I was like, all right, I'm not going to be a fanboy. I'll give him a follow back. And, just out of respect, right?
Yeah.
And June 15th of 2017, I was in the grocery store walking around, and all of a sudden my phone starts buzzing, and I look, and it says, you have one new message from The Rock and on Instagram. And I was like, I took a screenshot of it. I'm sending it to Joey. I'm sending it to everybody. And he left me probably three DMs in a row where he used up all his characters that he could leave, just giving me business advice. Like, listen, you remind me of me when I was cutting promos in WWE or WWF, and here's what you need to do. You need to do this. You need to trademark this. You need to go here. You need to go there. And I'm just like absorbing all this shit, and I'm like, wow, like The Rock is giving me this advice. When we did that skit, remember the airport skit where I got arrested for having all the performance enhancing drugs?
Yes.
A lot of people on the internet thought that was real. So as I'm hiding out in Sarasota that weekend, I'm at dinner with Jason, the owner of Steel Supplements, who was all in on the act. And we were supposed to lay low until Monday. That was filmed, I don't know if it was on a Thursday or Friday. And Jason was like, we'll make the world believe that you're really in jail until Monday, and then we'll reveal that it was all just a big prank. Well, that Friday or Saturday night, we're sitting at dinner, and Jason gets a text from The Rock saying, is there anything I can do to like help him get out of jail? So I'm like,
wow,
holy shit. And then whatever. Months later down the road, Vinny Bag of Chips, Vinny Sanitation, one of our co-hosts at the podcast, he was like, are you ever worried that one day The Rock is going to unfollow you? And I was like, nah, I really don't think about it. Like, if he does, he does. Who cares? 2 weeks later, I fucking look, I see The Rock's not following me anymore. I'm like, this motherfucker. I hate this guy. So that's why I started a little beef with The Rock and mentioned him. I know that was long-winded, but that's the whole story.
No, we're here to listen. Now, you mentioned this, and I just because I'm a bit of a fan of Elon Musk. Did you actually meet Elon Musk?
No, I didn't. Dan has like private rooms in his house, and when he has like major people like that I guess don't want, because you got to remember, when these parties at Dan's are going on, there's 500 people there or more sometimes. So if he doesn't want to be like bothered with like the regular folk like us, they go into like a side room and have a drink or do whatever they're going to do in there, and then he leaves. But no, I did not meet Elon Musk, but he was there. Okay. We were under the same roof.
Now you've been to Dan's house twice? Is that right?
4 or 5 times.
Is there any kind of something we did not see that you could actually mention, just kind of give us an idea of what that's like being there?
Secret room,
grotto.
Well, I know the one time that I brought MBJ there. Now Dan's house is 4 or 5 levels, and you enter the house from level 2. And then, there's a second level, a third level, a fourth level is where the gym is outside. And there's like 8 or 9 bars throughout the whole house. So when he's got parties, he hires bartenders and everything to come. So it's a mob scene in there.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, MBJ ended up on floor 1 in the elevator. She thought floor 1 was how to get out of the house. And she didn't want to walk down the stairs. So I was like, all right, I'll meet you down there. So I'm walking down the stairs, and all of a sudden I can't find MBJ for 15 minutes. And she said she was down in floor 1 and she didn't know what she saw, but she couldn't describe it. There were like cars and this and that and statues, and she was scared as hell, and there was nobody in sight. But as far as there anything weird, no, because Dan doesn't hide anything. So what you see on his page is what you get. Like, there's clearly a lot of illegal activity that goes on there.
Depending on what state you're in.
Right, exactly. But controlled illegal activity.
Of course.
Well, for New Jersey anyway. For California, it's different. But there's armed everywhere you go, every corner you turn, there's some dude standing there, stone cold face with like a machine gun, just ready for someone to act up. Because remember, a lot of these people that go to Dan's house, they get to go because they're on some kind of a guest list. Yes. Like Dan has promoters and he says, all right, I want 100 girls to come to this party. Nobody knows who anybody is, like a lot of the time. So I guess you have to have that security there.
That must have been pretty surreal going out to Dan Bilzerian's house. I mean, you didn't meet him there. He didn't invite you out. You met through Steel Supplements. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. Well, Dan has some sort of relationship with Steel. I really don't know what it is. I know that he's a fan of a lot of the products, and he became pretty good friends with Jason. And since I was one of like the Steel Supplements top dogs when they had the Ignite launch party, he was like, yo, bring that guy Robert Frank. And I was like, shit, I'll go. I don't care. So yeah, but no, I've met Dan in party settings where you speak to him for like 2 minutes and then he disappears for 3 hours, probably banging girls or whatever. And, but we had one day where the one video where we did legs with Dan, that was like a 4 or 5 hour day with it was just me, Dan, Jason, and the cameraman and Jason's brother, Paul. So it was like just the four of us. And it was fun.
Well, and of course, all the girls that are in Dan's house, right?
Oh yeah, because there's just random chicks walking around like all the time. Like, what are they? Who are they? Where did they come from? Yeah, they're wandering around the house in bikinis all day long. It's great.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, like, again, on the evolution of the character of Robert Frank and even your gym routine. You weren't into sports, but when did you get into the gym? Do you remember, like, what got you there, and at what point did you like just fall in love with the gym?
Early 20s, I would say. Maybe. Yeah, it was definitely early 20s because I remember being like 125 pounds at like 22 or 23, however old I was at the time before I started like really lifting, and I was just tired of it. And there's one long, boring story, but I got into a confrontation with some dude at a carnival. There was like, a carnival with Ferris wheels and cotton candy, like a regular carnival. Yeah. And I was with one of my ex-girlfriends at the time, and we were walking around holding hands, and this one dude made a comment about my girl. Now, he had on like a button-up or button-down shirt, whatever. And me wanting to protect, not want to look like a bitch and protect my girlfriend, and that was disrespectful. I got up in the dude's face at 120 something pounds, and he started unbuttoning his shirt, and he took his shirt off like he was getting ready to fight.
Ready,
jacked out of his mind, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm fucked. So that was one of the reasons that I started lifting weights, because I didn't want to be that guy again, being intimidated by some jack dude.
And at what point did you give up on legs?
I never started legs.
You never started legs?
No, I never started legs. So that's actually a shoot. That's not like part of the character. I didn't do legs in the beginning because the guy that trained me to actually lift weights and show me how to do shoulders and chest and back and arms, legs was never part of it. And I never thought to ask. I was never like, hey, well, what about my legs? I didn't give a fuck about my legs. And then, I heard the interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin where he was asking, he told the story how he asked Ravishing Rick Rude, who was one of the best physiques in pro wrestling ever, just jacked out of his mind and a legit tough guy. Steve Austin asked Rick Rude, like, dude, why don't you do legs? And Rick Rude said it's an upper body business. So I kind of, I've taken on that saying. And there was a brief period where me and Vinny would do legs once or twice a week, and we would film it just because we thought it would be good content. But like, all right, for 3 years, I've been saying that fuck legs. We're not doing legs. No more legs, no more legs, no more legs. And then all of a sudden, maybe people want to see it. So I did a video squatting. I did a video doing this. I did a video doing, 3 or 4 leg days in a row. 0 people gave a fuck. So, and I haven't done legs. I did legs once with Guy Sister Nino to punish myself for not giving Patreon a workout video for 1 month. And then I did legs at Dan's house.
Yes.
When they surprised me that we were going to do legs that day, which I didn't want to do. And so that was it.
Now, from what I've seen, you do have leg strength.
If you want to consider like 6 plates on each side of the leg press, leg strength, I mean, I think I did that with Guy. I don't know how many times, 6 or 8 or 10 reps, maybe. Squatting. I mean, they didn't put any more than a 45 on each side. So what is that? 135.
Yeah.
You could do that for 10, 20 reps, whatever. I don't know. But I guess maybe.
Yeah, because the big thing that you see, with the people who talk about, who never skip leg day is basically like when you see like the guy with the really twig legs. But then from all the videos that we see of you, you don't have twig legs by any means.
Oh, no, they're twigs, bro. Which is why I don't put them in a lot of videos. If they get a good
No, I mean like real twigs, like almost no muscle. Like
I guess I'm not that bad, but they're pretty small.
Fantastic. So, I mean, okay, so the development of the character of Robert Frank. So some people are probably quite surprised that you aren't this, constant rage guy and all these different types of things. And I'm sure from the first video that you've done with the character to where you are now, there's been somewhat of an evolution.
Oh, yeah.
Was there somebody that kind of inspired you? Like, do you kind of channel a person that you've actually met, or is it completely your design? Like you've just completely made it?
Well, if you go way back on my YouTube channel, there's videos from like 2014, 2015, where I was doing that shtick in the car, yelling about something, yelling about people that wear lifting gloves or people. It was all like gym related stuff. But it really never took off. It was, it was getting the same amount of views or less than my other videos. So I never really thought, that it would be anything. And then, of course, in July of 2016, when the Pokemon Go phenomenon came out, and Joey Bag of Donuts was in the gym trying to catch Pokemon while I was dying on the bench press, I ran outside and I cut that promo, and that's my claim to fame, or that's what's launched me from zero to hero. But if there's somebody that I would pattern myself after, I would say that it's the cadence original. Now I'm doing like rhyming in the videos, and I kind of created my own like tone and stuff. But in the very beginning, I would mimic the cadence of the franchise Shane Douglas, who was a professional wrestler from ECW. Yeah. That's when he was at his prime, when he was in ECW cutting those promos. So if you go back and listen to the very first Rage videos, it's me like kind of mimicking his cadence and his tone and the kind of things that he would say. But since then, it's morphed into much bigger things, I guess.
Yeah, the first video that I saw of you, and this is before I even really talked to Brooke about the Glorious House of Gainz or anything. This was like 2016 actually, was the Make the Gym Great Again.
Yeah.
And I saw a bunch of friends posting that, and I was like, this is hilarious. Like this, because it was a way. What I like is, you talk about certain things, but you still like, you'll, especially now with everything that's going on with the quarantine, you'll talk about like, what your governor's doing and all this stuff, and then your focus is really, I just want to go back to the gym. You're not making it some other thing about, some other political thing, or you're not talking about what's going on in DC or anything. You talk about things that matter to the character, which is what I like. You just like make the gym great again. It's it touches on that Make America Great Again, but you're not really supporting any of that either. You're just saying, I just want, just people need to go to the gym. We're going to get along in there. And I think that's the huge appeal that you had once you did that. I mean, and I know that wasn't the first video that took off, right? I know it's probably one of the first ones.
That was still in 2016. But it was more, if you got to go by my voice, like the tone of voice that I was using in those videos to kind of gauge of what time that was. But I think that was when I was starting to growl. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I would have to go back and watch it. But no, that's the whole thing. Like when there are people on social media that clearly make no mistake about it. They'll tell you if they love Trump. They'll tell you if they hate Trump. They're outspelled. Michael Rappaport, for example, he bashes Trump every fucking chance he gets. Or someone like Emery King, who I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
Yep.
He's pro-Trump, and he'll say Trump is the best thing since sliced bread. These are the kind of guys that don't give a fuck about losing a big portion of their audience. So for me, when I was up and coming, I was like, well, shit, if I like back Trump, I'm going to lose all the people that hate Trump, and then vice versa. So I always try to make it where I was in the middle. Like, yeah, I'll talk about Trump in a video. I'll talk about Hillary Clinton in a video. I'll talk about Obama, but I'll never let you know whether or not I'm for them. I'm for the gym. I'm for the bringing people back to the glorious house of Gainz. So
you'll talk about if, Trump going to the gym or Hillary went to the gym, and maybe make a little joke in there, but you're not going to be like, I like this or I don't like this or whatever.
Right. And you can't, I mean, you can do that because clearly people are doing it, but you don't really want to piss off, your audience, because people on social media, they're very flighty. Like, they'll love you. You'll motivate them to go to the gym. They'll love all your videos. You make them laugh in every video for 5 straight years. The one video where you're like, I can't wait to go vote for Trump, they'll fucking bounce on you. They'll leave, So you got to be very careful with what you say.
Exactly. That's one thing that I liked, actually. And this is not to take away from what we're talking about. I think it'll be really cool once you get on to Joe Rogan and talk about that, because it's very similar. Like, those types of people that are on his shows tend to be, I think, the most popular, where they talk about very basic stuff, but deep, like basic but deep things that tend to like reach the most amount of people. It's not something that's going to, cut a swath through their audience.
Regardless of who he has on. So I don't think, I mean, I guess it could hurt people specifically if Rappaport was on there and he was bashing Trump. The people that didn't know who Michael Rappaport was will never follow him, or just say that this guy's a jerk off, he's an asshole, he's not funny, whatever. But again, even if I did go on Joe Rogan and we started talking politics, which I know nothing about, and I'm the first one to tell you, I'm still going to be very vague with who I.
Yeah, and that's a smart move. I think that's the appeal of Robert Frank is.
Yeah,
it's the gym.
Gym. That's all I give a fuck about. But eventually, it gets tired. It wears on me a little bit, because I like Archie bunkered myself. Like, all I'm known for now is
stereotype.
This stereotypical meathead gym guy. And when I try to talk about something different, if I try to talk about what's going on in the world right now, people are like, you're not qualified to talk about that. Shut up and make me laugh. Talk about the gym. I liked you so much better when you talked about the gym. I liked you so much better when you were making me laugh. Now you're talking about real world stuff, which we don't want to hear from you. We want to hear from the experts. Like, I'm not allowed to have an opinion on anything.
Right.
That kind of irks me a little bit. There's not much that bothers me on social media, but when I do see comments like that, it pisses me off, because like, I'm nobody's puppet or clown.
Right.
I have opinions too. You know what I mean? So
did that kind of happen? Did you get a little like backlash when Vinny would talk about the This Is America segment when that first came in?
I got a few DMs from some of like the super loyal like supporters of the podcast that would DM me and be like, yo, you guys need to ditch that politics clip, because you're not qualified to talk about it, or you're not this, like, stick to the gym stuff. And I was, my personality is a lot different from other people. If someone tells me not to do something, that makes me want to do it more. Like, just to be like, oh, you don't like this politics segment which takes 2 minutes of the podcast?
Right.
We're going to make it 6 minutes, and we're doing it every fucking week now. But you don't want to, you want to take constructive criticism. And if someone tells me, like the way that they did, listen, bro, like, I love the show. I think you guys are funny. Like, you guys are mine. Like, I feel like I'm at the table with you, but when you guys talk politics and stuff like that, it's a little cringy. Like, if someone came at me like that, I would take that as constructive criticism. Okay, guys, maybe we should ditch this segment. But when people come at me like, you motherfuckers aren't qualified to talk about this, stick to making me laugh, you fucking clown. That's what pisses me off.
Rightly so. Rightly
Yeah.
so.
Maybe you just got to wear like an I'm with her with a MAGA hat on a show once.
Exactly.
And just throw everyone off, like, or, you know, the vice versa. Maybe there's a, I don't know if there's a Hillary hat, but you just kind of throw people off like, what?
Yeah.
I like both of them.
I got, I should do that. And that'll really throw people, because the people that hate Trump, all they'll do is focus on the MAGA hat and be like, oh, he's wearing a MAGA hat, but they won't see the shirt that I'm wearing. And the vice versa, they're like, oh, he's got on a shirt, but they don't see the MAGA hat. People see what they want to see on social media.
Right. Now, with becoming more and more like reaching, you know, celebrity status, what's the most awkward encounter with a fan in public, in any public setting?
Oh shit. Actually, it was kind of awkward. Me and Jimmy, we were just in Sarasota in, I want to say February. It was tail end of February. We were in Sarasota and we were filming for Steel. Well, Jimmy wasn't filming, but he was with me on the trip. And it was me, Jason, Paul, who was doing the camera work, and Jake, one of the other guys from Steel. And we were outside, like on Main Street, filming, doing a skit, which you guys will see in months from now, because it's like a before and after type thing. And this one guy was with, I guess, his girlfriend or maybe a friend, I forget. It was more than one person. And they came up, and like, dude had bags in his hand, like he was just shopping down Main Street. Jaw dropped to the floor, dropped his bags, and couldn't believe it was me. Started shaking and actually crying, like, wow, that I was there, and he was hugging me, and I changed his life. And you know, he goes to the gym now every day because he saw this video, and it was one of the more recent videos too. It was like my Easter video from 2019. It wasn't even like it's like a 2016 fan. It was like somebody that was brand new that has only been following me a couple months. But yeah, someone crying because they meet me is kind of weird.
I mean, I can't say I cried.
Unique.
Yeah, I can't say I cried when I met you in Body Power. What, that's 2019?
No. Yeah, but May of 2019. Yeah,
2019. I mean, just briefly on that, I had just broken up with a girlfriend, and you know, I was already a fan of the podcast, and I knew you guys were coming out, and it's like, yeah, do I go? Do I not go? You know, this, that, and I was like, he's gonna get big. He's gonna get huge. One day, you may not get the chance to meet him and the bros. I said, I'm gonna go out there.
Remember who told you to go?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, Amos was supporting me, and we were having that conversation back and forth, and then it's like, yeah, just let's do it. I mean, it's gonna cost me money. Let's do it. And I have to say, man, meeting you guys, you know, it was so real. You know, Beard So Strong and Ray were there, and then you came down. It was an excellent experience, man. So I was glad I got the chance to do that, and that we've managed to stay in touch and all this. Yeah. So thank you for that, man.
No, yeah, Brooke actually called me and started crying. So I'm just kidding.
No, it's it was cool. There were people. Now, how far away did you have to travel to get to Body Power? Was it a couple hours? Yeah,
it was about 2 hours by train. Not too bad, but okay. Yeah, it's still a distance.
There were people from Ireland that came over. Yeah. People that said that they left the week before just to come and meet. So that's always, you know, the guy crying is like, it's kind of cool, but like awkward at the same time. But to have people, every appearance that we've done, whether it was in Ohio here in the States, or the Olympia in Vegas, or Body Power, or even FitCon, which was in 2017 in London. Yeah, there people said that they left like 3 days ago to drive to come just to meet me. Now they could be just saying that, but you know, to hear somebody say they're probably going for Simeon Panda or Bradley Martin or somebody, and every booth they go to, bro, I came here just to see you. But just to hear that is pretty cool.
Yeah, that would definitely get pretty surreal. And I think you had one of the longest lines at that conference when I was there. So that was really something.
Yeah, the line for us is always at any expo is always long. Usually it's because it's not just me there. Like people want to meet other people, like Steel Supplements, ambassadors or people, whatever you want to call them. And with the podcast, people knew Ray were going to be there. Ray was going to be there, and Beard So Strong and Jimmy and stuff. But the problem with Body Power is they kept pulling me away. Like all day long to do different things. I had to do a podcast. I had to do an interview. I had to do a live speaking thing. So it never gave the people the chance to like build up a line. And like, so it was like wrapped around the building like Rich Piana used to have years ago, because they would always pull me in different directions. But no, I listen, we stayed late like every day because there was still one person that would stroll in at 6:01 p.m. and it's like, hey, I just got here. Like, can I get a pay? Yeah, man. So you stay and bullshit with people for a few minutes. It's fun, man.
Did you make it to any of the after parties?
Yeah, both. The Friday night there was one, and the Saturday night there was one. I don't remember either one of them. That's how drunk I got. But from what I remember, they were fun.
Yeah, I mean, our boy Paul Young out here, you know, he and I have been keeping in touch. You know, a couple of the guys in the UK we met up after that. Well, we got in touch after that.
Okay.
And we were, you know, this year, of course, everything's been canceled and all that kind of stuff. But we were looking forward to it, man. Like, we were going to have like a reunion. Even if you guys couldn't come out, a lot of your fans were just like, we will go to Body Power and we'll hang out.
Yeah, and I wanted to go, and we were like down a path with them to get everything taken care of so we could go. But yeah, you said with the world being the way it is, but that's cool that you guys all kept in touch. And I know a lot of my Patreon members, they all like keep in touch. They follow each other on social media. So it's like we kind of, through Robert Frank, we kind of built like friendships and like a mini community. And I say mini because it's still very small right now, but who the hell knows where this could go?
So true. So true.
Now you mentioned in your last episode that Cameo is kind of taking off with, now is a majority of that just a lot of like people sending each other like sort of encouraging sort of videos to like keep each other's spirits up kind of thing?
It's a mixture of everything. It's a lot of happy birthdays, a lot of happy anniversaries, a lot of happy, someone just graduated high school or college or getting a new job, or a lot of roasting, you know, friends that complaining that their friends don't even lift anymore and they want me to yell at them. It's really a mixture of everything. But I would say that the majority of the time it's like happy birthday type stuff. Can you wish my buddy John a happy birthday? He's got a dog named Joe. He lives in Florida, and he likes to snowboard. Like, that's the type of stuff that I get, and you kind of include that into the video, so it makes it personalized, and people really think that you know a lot about them, and you're talking to them specifically. And yeah, it's been crushing it right now on Cameo, so I'm very happy with that.
Actually, that makes actually more sense, because probably more people that can't see each other would rather just spend the money to send each other videos. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
You encouraged the other guys to get on Cameo as well, right?
Yeah.
From the podcast.
Yeah, I told Ray, and I think Ray, Joey, and Pody are on there now, and maybe Beard So Strong as well. I don't know if he ever actually went through the whole thing. Vinny, just because of what Vinny does for a living, you guys know what he does, but the world thinks he's
a garbage man.
Yeah. It's kind of not frowned upon, but he's got to be really careful with what he does and says, and how much he makes himself available on social media, because it's frowned upon in his kind of profession. So yeah, but yeah, I told the guys to get on there, because I mean, I know Ray has gotten booked 10, 15 times in the last couple months. Joey's gotten booked. Everybody, I think, has gotten booked from just fans of the podcast or listeners to the podcast. I hate that word fans. Fans is like, people are fans of The Rock. People are fans of Joe. People aren't fans of Robert Frank. We're just bros.
Bros and broettes, you know, we want to be equal representation.
You can't leave them out. Oh. Yeah. Can't leave them out.
Oh,
here with all my shit on it. I didn't know if that would play or not, but
I got the same setup actually. I did, you know, RoadCaster, right?
Oh, it's beautiful. I love this thing.
It solved a lot of your technical problems, right? Because early on was kind of a nightmare, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it was such a night. You know what it is too, and the Pody, who was our producer of the year, right? None of us knew what we were doing. Like, we never thought to have like a professional, like AV guy or engineer, whoever like does this stuff for a living, knows how to set up cameras. So it was always, every episode was trial and error. Like, we would forget what we did last time, and then Pody would just be pressing buttons, not remembering what he pressed until something worked. And then he's like, all right, it worked. And then we did a show. Then we come back the next week and all the settings were messed up. So Pody's like, I don't remember what I did. Let me press this button, that button. The Roadcaster makes it so easy that even I could do it. I go live by myself during the week sometimes, and it works out great.
I am so jealous of that. I think Amos just won on one of your contests.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I am like so jealous, but it's so late for me, of course, out here in the UK. You know, I can't wait up, but yeah, definitely. And I'm glad now for those who are listening and want to see the podcast, you could now subscribe to the Glorious House Gainz podcast Patreon and see it live.
Yeah.
And you have some excellent ladies that come on the show as well. That definitely easy on the eyes.
Yeah, we've had quite a few female guests on the show. We're trying to have more. Again, I'm still stuck on like this whole not being in our studio thing, like how you guys have it set up. I'm gonna have to pick your brain off the air of how you guys got this whole thing set up, because I'd love to have more guests on, but I'm always afraid of connection problems or my Wi-Fi shit in the bed or something happening. It's just a lot easier if people are here actually in the studio and we get to, you know, chat for a few minutes. But yeah,
it was funny. You mentioned you have a lot of fans that will tell you, I drove this long to come see you and all this, and I just couldn't help but think, I got out of bed and came here. Like, bed's right over there. It's 5 feet away. Like, I came all this way to be on the show with you, Rob. So,
well, my studio is in my basement, so I didn't go far either. I just
right, yeah. Yeah, with what you can do with streaming nowadays, you can do like stream from anywhere. I mean, I don't know if you would do this, but it probably wouldn't look the best. But depending on, you could stream from your phone from anywhere in the world. You have a connection.
Oh yeah. No, I used to go live on you before I had this whole setup here with the webcams and whatever this crap is. I used to go live on my phone, like just with my cell phone, the iPhone, and go live on YouTube or whatever. And the connection is actually, I thought sometimes better on my iPhone than it is with this. But I think we have it perfected now where we look good.
Fantastic. Could we just touch a little bit on the fact that you are a married man?
No.
Okay.
Yes. August 18th, 2018. 8/18/18.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, me and MBJ tied the knot. We've been together since 2012, maybe, I guess, dating. So we've been together for a long time, and she was in a lot of the earlier videos that we did. The Ms. Booty Jiggles character kind of, came to life, and that was actually Joey's idea. I give Jimmy a lot of credit for video ideas and just business ideas, but Joey's idea was back in 2013, 2014. He's like, you want to get 1 million views? Put her in a fucking thong. And so that's how the Ms. Booty Jiggles character started. And, she's kind of taken more of a back seat over the years just because she's got a professional job now, and she can't be online shaking her ass and shit. So, but yeah, married, and but she understands that it's a character that talks about fucking bitches, and I've been cursing up a storm here. Are you guys?
That's
gonna have
cool. Don't worry. That's
Dude, we don't care.
Yeah.
So
gimmick.
So I mean, a lot of the guys that we deal with, kind of relationships and that kind of thing. Was there a moment like you knew you were going to marry MBJ? Just did you have like an epiphany, or did it just kind of evolve that way?
Well, I proposed on, I don't even remember the day, but I know it was in June of 2017. And it was in Bermuda on the beach. We had a cruise planned, and I knew my family was going to be going, her family was going to be going. I knew it was a perfect time. But the reason I knew it was time is because maybe a month earlier, she said her birthday is July 4th. So keep that in mind. She told me earlier, about a month earlier, she said, if you don't propose to me by my birthday or Christmas, we're done. So that I didn't really have a choice.
Motivation. Yeah. On point. Well, do give her our best. You know, we wish the best for both of you, of course.
I will. Thank you.
Gotta love that video you put out, the using the Trump quote. You know, it might get bigger, get a little bigger.
You just put that out. I saw that today with the hard AF.
Yeah. TikTok is my newest toy that I'm playing around with now, and I'm doing a lot of trial and error on TikTok. That's, you know, a couple months ago, one of the Steel Supplements guys reached out and he goes, "Dude, you got to get on TikTok. That's the next big thing." Gary V was pumping it up, and you had, you know, all your major people who I can't even do his voice because doing so many cameos a day, I wake up in the morning with no voice, like every single day. So I can't even do that high-pitched Gary V voice anymore. But, you know, he was like, you got to get on there. So he was like, even if you don't put out TikTok-specific content, just repost what you put on Instagram on there and, like, you know, try to build an audience up. So we just broke a little over 100,000, I think like 130, 140,000 followers on TikTok. And, yeah, that was one of the trending things on TikTok, is to use Trump's voice for make it bigger, make it a little bigger, may not get bigger at all. And it's usually guys that are like holding a towel and their girlfriends are like looking like down at the sausage. And hold on a second. Oh. Yeah. And so like, yeah, make it bigger, not get bigger at all, whatever. But we were like, you know what? Let's use MBJ's butt for this one. So
she was okay with that, even with her corporate job.
Well, her face was not in the video.
Okay.
So we go back and watch it. It's just from like her shoulders down.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these like sound effects that you throw in, girls moaning, then there's the whole what is it?
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that's
no. Well, there's a Homer Simpson, but I mean, with a lot of the ones with women. Well, I mean, are those all original that you found, or is it just like a sample side of like soundtracks that you just pulled up?
No. Well, the moaning one is actually MBJ that I recorded her one night. No, I'm kidding. No, that's the moan that I use in all my like all the skit videos that I do. I found it on Apple, like it was like sound sexy female soundboard or something, because I wanted to throw it in. So yeah, but I just take whatever that I want online, and I figured out how to add it to this RoadCaster soundboard, and yeah, so I've been playing with it over the last week or so.
Yeah, it really is great. It's made, because I've been through a whole bunch of setups, and I know you're very big on, you know, you want the quality. Joey is not going to take anything less than perfection.
No, he's not.
So I'm the same thing. I got the RoadCaster. I was swapping out laptops. I was just trying to find the best combination. Yeah. And I was using a Rode mic, which I'm still using Rode now. I had a USB mic before. I've switched to this system that could plug into the RoadCaster. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And as you say, very easy to use. You should get an endorsement, like, you know, some kind of affiliate program with Rode. I'm sure everybody's going to be following your lead.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's for me, who knows absolutely nothing about this shit. You know, I do for those of you who don't know, people think that, you know, when you get big on social media and you start going out buying $5,000 cameras and $1,000 editing software. No, I do every single thing is done on my phone. I film, I edit, I post on my phone. I never touch a computer. The only reason I'm touching this MacBook right now is because we're doing this. But the RoadCaster, I'm very big on keeping it simple. And for someone that knows absolutely jack squat about any of this machine has made even me look like a genius. So I definitely recommend it for anybody out there that wants to live stream, whether you get 1 view or you get 20 million views, to go out and get this piece of equipment, because it makes it very easy.
Fantastic. Just a little bit about your endorsements then. So if I'm not mistaken, we already discussed, you're with Steel.
Yep.
You recently got in with the Love Gun.
Yep.
Right. But I've actually posted your Cameo link in the chat so people can go on and that. So you're dealing on Cameo. And you and I briefly talked about being members of the Bald and Bearded Club.
Right.
Do you have any grooming tips, and are you affiliated with anybody if they wanted to kind of support that?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I just paid the invoice. For those of you, and Brooke, I know you know this, and Amos as well, that we've been talking about coming out with our own beard line forever. And it was just start and stop with different people and getting samples that I wasn't happy with. Cause obviously I have to be happy with the shit if I'm going to sling it. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, to make a very long story short, yesterday I just paid the invoice for a new line that we're going to be coming out with. We're starting with beard oil only. We're not doing the creams or the bombs or anything like that. We're just starting with the oil, just to see how it does. But I'm very happy with the product, and I will definitely send you, Brooke, because you got a little something there, Amos.
Yeah, Brooke and I are we have different mixes of Asian within us, so I'm not going to get anything near what Brooke has until I'm in my 30s, and I'm only 27.
Okay,
so it's a slow thing, and
it's
I got
a slow process.
Exactly, Yeah,
we're coming out with our own, and we were supposed to be doing partners with different silent partners throughout the years that have came and gone, but now we're just like, you know what, let's do this ourselves and let's just get it over with.
Can you say what the company is that's providing this beard oil?
Well, it's going to be my own style. I came up with an ingredient list myself from a couple different beard oils that I particularly am fond of and used. And I was like, okay, let me find out what all these different ingredients are that I like, and let's mash them all up, put them together, and get a chemist or whoever does this stuff for a living and get me a sample of it. And we found it, and I don't know what we're actually going to call it yet, like what the name of the brand is. But it is a manufacturing company or someone that does this type of work for a living. It's like private label stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the head then? Are you like grooming every day, every other day? Yeah. Let's see it.
Oh boy.
So,
that's it.
I've shaven it down to just MBJ is my new barber since the world went to shit. MBJ has been she's been buzzing my head with just the clippers at the lowest setting, like every Friday or so. So yeah, I've been taking it all off because the little mohawk stupid thing that I had, at fucking almost 50 years old was getting stupid. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just shave it. It's time. But you look good with the bald, like clean shaven. Now, do you go down to the razor with yours?
Yeah. So I'm going through a couple of things right now. I started with the clippers. So I got this great Turkish barber. So he would, do everything. And I got tired of holding on to the dregs. You start to see the spacing and stuff like that. Yep. So I went to him first, and he did the clippers. And I was like, well, I got all these razors, I may as well start using them. So I went with that. And then I got one of those electric head shavers. So it's like I got like 5 little heads on it, and you kind of roll it around, and it's electric and stuff like that. So I'm using that currently. But then somebody that both Amos and I know of, a guy called Richard Cooper, he does a YouTube channel called Entrepreneurs in Cars. Okay. He recommended something called Richard Cooper. Yeah, he's associated with Rollo Tomasi. I know that's somebody who's reached out to you and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So they all kind of move in that same crew. And Richard is the same bald and bearded club. And he recommended something called the Halftime Razor, which is a small device you fit on your hand. It's got a razor in the front and the back, and you kind of do your head like this. I think it's got 6 blades. You could do a subscription and stuff. I think he has like a subscription to it as well.
Okay.
I just ordered that, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to like take it down to skin yet, but yeah, the clippers with no attachment and, moving the blade all the way closest. So it gets the closest shave. I think that's where I'm going to stay for right now, but definitely keep me posted on that.
I will.
Eventually this shit is going to go.
Brooke, you're talking about the Head Shave Club, right?
The Head Shave Club, yeah.
So he's got Richard Cooper has someone that he's working with. This guy is coming up with it. He came up with the whole line, and it's like Dollar Shave Club, but for guys who want to maintain
the head.
The head, yeah. So
What about the beard, Robert? I know that you haven't been able to get to the barber. You and I are in the same boat in that respect. How's that going?
I mean, it's up in the chin area up here.
Yeah.
To get a little unruly, and it's not lined up. But I've learned a lot about my beard and beards in general. Just by doing research, there's something called terminal length with beards, and certain people like me, who my beard texture is very nappy. It's like it's almost like fucking pubic hair, right? So, which is why I got to keep it groomed and put oils and all that shit in, because it's very curly and it's very nappy. My beard hasn't grown in probably 2 years. It's been the same length.
Wow.
And it's because I hit my terminal length with beard. Now, someone like Beard So Strong could shave his beard off completely, be clean shaven, and within a month have a longer beard than I have right now. Same thing with women. So I am jealous of those types of people. My beard has kind of hit its limit, so it's really never going to get any bigger. It's just a matter of, just maintaining it at this point. But yeah, I used to go to the barber twice a week. When I was obsessed with my hair, I would go on Tuesday to get an edge up where they'd sharpen up the line for me and, sharpen up like the head around the sides. And then on Fridays, I would get a full blown haircut, which they would go over the beard again and then do the hair. But now MBJ is my barber.
So when you trim down the beard, it basically starts growing again, but it just stops.
I never trim it. I haven't touched it.
Wow.
No, I haven't touched it.
Oh, for the whole 2 years?
No, since I saw Brooke last year,
Yeah.
I have not taken any length off. I've not even like cut off the dead ends or anything like that. I guess, and I know people do say, oh, well, you got to get the dead ends off to make the beard grow more, but I think that's bullshit.
I'll let you know. I'm going to put that to the test. Since this whole lockdown thing, I haven't done anything.
Okay.
And it's growing out at this point. I'm going to see how far it goes. So I might have like a good Fu Manchu kind of going on in a little bit.
And this beard, believe it or not, started when I was still selling insurance. And it was a little thin, like pencil beard, like a line beard that you see like a lot of like Spanish people like, or everybody, I guess white people, black, everybody does like the little thin pencil beard. That's how it started. And I was like, well, let me thicken it up a little bit. Let me thicken it up. And then now, I want it to come like right underneath my eyes. I don't want to see any face at all. I just want eyes and beard.
What about under here then? Is it coming on your neck and such then too?
Yeah, it's all the way down here. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
it itches for the first like couple days that it's growing in, and then it stops, and then now it's just growing as part of the beard, part of the crew.
I mean, everybody does say that your beard has more testosterone than the entire crew.
Yeah. Someone asked me what the secret was to my beard when we were at Body Power. Actually, that was one of the audience questions. Like,
Yeah.
what's up with that beard? I was like, Trenbolone oil. On the beard.
Sometimes you see his beard will start to do a little do a little workout in the middle of the night, just weights.
Yeah. It's curls.
Good curls.
Yeah.
Now I want to make sure we're not taking up too much of your time. We're at about an hour here having you on. Were you okay with? We do usually do like an hour and a half, but if you feel you gotta go, you let us know. Or are you good to keep going a little bit more?
I'm cool, man. Me and MBJ were going to in New Jersey. They're starting to slowly like open up the beach areas, which we're about an hour. We're about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half away. Joey Baggs was down at the beach yesterday, and he said that it was a mob scene, but all like your cheesesteak places, your pizza places, like, things are starting to open up down there. So we were going to take a ride, but that isn't for another 30 minutes. So I can hang out with you guys if you need me. If not, then
bro, we didn't wait this long to get you on to kick you off now.
No, but I wanted to make sure. So
I'm good.
What's going on with the car, man? Is the car doing all right? If you want to kind of touch on that quickly.
Car's back to normal, man. The
back to normal.
Yeah, the Jag is good. So I just got rid of my BMW, and I got a Jaguar. And the first day that I had it, it started overheating on me. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I called the place and the dealership, and they were like, oh, are you somewhere safe? And anyway, long story short, the car was on a flatbed. The very next day that I bought the car was on a flatbed going back to Jaguar. And it took them 5 days to figure out what was wrong with it and fix a bunch of parts. They gave it back to me. I had it back for 2 hours, and the car started overheating again.
And it's a brand new car?
It's a certified pre-owned, had 19,000 miles on it.
What kind of Jaguar is it?
The XC Sport.
Yeah.
So it's the 2017 Jaguar XC Sport. And yeah, but I was not really specific with them that it was happening as I was sitting in the car idling. Like, I sit in my car doing videos all day long, So,
Yeah.
If it's hot out, I got the AC running, or I got the heat on if it's cold. And so they were like, oh shit, the problem with it was the cooling fan. So it was a cooling fan issue. But now, ever since I got it back last Friday, everything has been good to go.
Is that like your dream car? Is that what you wanted like when you were younger, or is that like a recent addition?
Jaguar, there's two cars that I pass on the road that make me turn my head every single time I pass.
Yes.
And it's Jaguar or a Maserati. Those are the two cars that, no matter what. Like, I'll see around where I live, there's BMWs are a dime a dozen. There's every BMW, every make, every model, every year. They're all over the place. Same with Mercedes, same with Audi, so in terms of luxury cars or higher price cars, the only ones where as I'm driving, I'm like, damn, that car is sweet as hell, was Jaguar and Maserati. And I was this close to buying a Maserati about a month ago. And at the very last minute, I got cold feet, and I was like, I don't know, because there was no warranty. It was a used one. It only had like 24,000 miles on it. It was like a 2017, 2018. And I was getting ready to put down a big chunk of change on it. And then I got cold feet the last minute, and I got in my car. I left the dealership, didn't tell anybody I was leaving. I just ghosted it. I just bounced. And that's when I got the text that the gyms were going to be shutting down that day. So I pulled into a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. It's one of the videos that I have on my social media. I got a red jacket on, and I was talking about how you're going to close the gyms. McDonald's could stay open, Dunkin' Donuts could stay open, but you're going to close the gyms. And that video's got like millions of views. So thank God I left the dealership and didn't get the Maserati.
Now, because I was hearing it's actually kind of nice when you hear about people that, like, Americans that aren't just like naming off all the American brands.
Yeah.
Would you get a Tesla?
I would. The problem is I don't know the names of them, but I'm a big, like, Jimmy Triceps. He's a sports car guy. Jimmy's all about your Corvettes, your two-door sporty cars. Beard So Strong and me and Ray, we all have the same taste. Like, we're more luxury sedan, 4-door type dudes. Vinny is a Jeep guy. Vinny has had Hummers, he's had Jeeps, he's had those type of cars. Joey doesn't give a fuck what he drives. But
he'll drive a Bug.
Yeah, he'll drive anything. If it gets him to point A to point B, he don't care. But me, I need that 4-door sedan. So I don't know what the name of that in Tesla is, but I would have to look at it again to make sure I like the body style and the shape of it and everything. So, because
they got some that definitely are looking, I mean, some of them just look kind of like, just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Some of them look a little odd, like, especially with the SUV, just the shape of it. But then there's a couple that I've seen that have this almost luxury car kind of look to them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a 4-door. There's a 4-door sportier looking one that has like a shorter back, kind of like my Jaguar. What I like about the Jaguar, it's got a long front and short back.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Tesla that's out there. I forget the name of it, but it kind of looks similar. It's got the shorter back, the 4 doors. And so I would get that for sure.
Probably, yeah. I think that's probably the S series of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Like that.
I'll get that. Sure.
Because I think with Elon, he did the S, the Roadster was the first, the S, the X, and then he did the 3. So S3X is sex, and that's kind of his thing.
I see what he did.
Clever guy.
You wouldn't get like a Cybertruck or anything, though, would you?
No. I'm not. I hate when my Jaguar was in the shop. They gave me an F-Pace or F-Pace. I heard that it's pronounced.
Right. The SUV.
The Jaguar X SUV. Didn't like it. I don't know, something about it. I don't like SUV. I'm not an SUV guy.
Yeah, fair enough. How is I wanted to touch a little bit on the Back to Jack series.
Yeah,
here we go. Now you're
not going so well.
Let's start with the beginning of that process. Was a routine you got from Guy Cisternino, is that right? Was he gave you the plan?
No,
it wasn't. Okay.
No, Guy, I forget. Guy had an impact on one of my video series that I was going to do, or something, but it definitely wasn't the Back to Jack. No. Okay.
No. In terms of like your starting point, like what you're trying to get back to, the body that you had at that point. How did you get there? Was it you hired a trainer? Hired
that was Tony Mascialini.
Tony Mascialini. Okay.
Yeah, Tony Mascialini is one of my friends that I knew from the gym. And I saw what he did to his physique from being like a complete, like super out of shape, like just big, heavy set dude to looking like a statue on stage in just a couple of months. So
chiseled,
all of his transformations, he does the online coaching thing, which is kind of like, everybody and their mother is an online coach now, but he posts these before and after pictures. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So let me work with Tony, and he put together a diet for me it was actually before we went to Body Power last year.
Yeah.
And I did that diet from like just before Body Power all the way through pretty much the summer. And by September, it took a couple months to really start kicking into gear, but by late August, September, at over 40 years old, I was in the best shape I was ever in. The foods that I was eating, the things I was putting into my body, the supplements that I was taking, everything just worked together. It came together, and it made me look really good. And I lost it all within 2 months. I was gone. I was looking like Joey Bags.
Oh, come on, Rob.
Close enough. You got to see side by sides of me and Joey. We're comparable.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine that. Because there was something that you mentioned in when you were kind of talking about the diet that I thought, it's not very common. He was asking you to add like some salt to your meal. That's not a very common thing. A lot of bodybuilders, when they're trying to get in shape, they cut the salt. But he said like 6 or 5 turns per meal or something like that. Was that something? Is that right? I can't remember exactly.
No, he was telling me he added sea salt. What the fuck was it? Pink Himalayan sea salt.
Himalayan salt. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So there's, I don't know, I guess they're called cranks, the little rocks that you eat. So
cranks.
I think they're called. It says 6 cranks per meal, which is what. But yeah, he had me putting that into my meals, and I don't know what that did. I don't know, because I know what a lot of bodybuilders do is they up the sodium, and then all of a sudden they'll cut the sodium, and then their body just gets rid of all the water.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but no, whatever he did, whatever he put on the paper, I did to the T for the most part, 95% of the time.
Of course.
And yeah, it produced some crazy results.
Excellent. Because you are yeah, go ahead, Amos.
I was going to say the 5% was the Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Let's be honest. Monday through Thursday, I was like on point. But I told Tony from the very beginning, I was like, listen, like I'm not actually competing against him. I'm not taking it to the level where I'm going to step on stage and embarrass myself against other people. I just want to look the best. So I'm warning you right now, bro. Every Friday and Saturday night, I'm going out drinking. And when I drink, I get mozzarella sticks. I get chicken fingers. I get this. I get that. So he goes, okay. So basically what he did is he took those cheat meals and cheat days and alcohol into consideration when he built my diet, because he knew, he was like, all right, we're going to take a little bit away here, but that's going to give you the room to put it here. So yeah, whatever he did, it worked. And I can't wait to get back there again. But so much starting and stopping with, I was back on track, getting on pace to get back to jacked, and then the gym's closed. And then I use that as an excuse, but we're getting back. Trust me.
So yeah, that was the next point on this. Of course, the world shut down, all of these different things. I did see you tried the home workout with the bands and the bench. But you have like secret pass to a gym right now. That's kind of on the down low. Is that right?
Yeah. In fact, I've always had it, but I never took advantage of it because it's so far away. Yeah. And when I was getting rid of my BMW, I was inching up to the 100,000 mile mark on the car. And I was like, I know the minute I cross over that 100,000 mile mark, I'm going to get shit for it as a trade-in. Yes. So I was very careful with how much driving I was doing back then. And now that I got the new car, I'm like, well, I don't want to put 1 million miles on it. Because it's like 60 miles each way, back and forth. So 20 miles a day just to go work out, like it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I have been going more just because I'm fed up and I'm tired of it. But it's really weird. I'll be honest with you. And a lot of people would love to have my situation where they could get into a gym. It's not the same when there's not people there. You have the whole gym to yourself, which people claim that they love. Oh, I love it when the gym is all to myself. And no, I need people there. I need like that energy. I need the chicks.
You need chicks there. Yeah.
Yeah. You need like that. Even if you're never going to talk to them or hit on them or bang them or anything, you just need them there for that, like that mini testosterone boost. And, when you're in the gym all by yourself and the lights are out, obviously, because they don't want to broadcast that, that
it's open
or the people are in the gym. I park around the side of the building so people on the highway don't see a car sitting in front of the gym and get curious, because people are fed up with this shit now. Like people are ready to go back to their normal lives. And how would you feel if you're a member of the gym that I go to and you're just driving on the highway one day and you see 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot? You're gonna be like, wait, why are they allowed to work out? Like I'm a member of the gym, why can't I go in? So yeah, we've been very careful, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity just to go back and be able to lift weights.
I'm kind of surprised. I mean, you found a gym, but then you didn't find, because this has been going on too, is secret bars that are open.
Yeah. No, there's a bar that I could go to as well. But again, who wants to go to a bar that's got 4 or 5 people in it? That they private invite only type thing. It's not the same. You need to go into a crowded bar where you got to walk sideways to get in between people to go to the bathroom. Like it's just, I miss that environment. And I'm scared when the world opens back up that they're only going to let, 25% capacity. And at 7 o'clock at night, there's going to be a line a mile long to get into the bar, and everyone's going to be standing 6 feet away with stupid masks on. And it's like, come on, guys, like, let's just get back.
You could maybe flaunt some social media credibility at them and just like, hey, I won't tweet about you if you don't let me in.
The few places that we go, we rotate between a couple bars locally, and they all know who we are. So I'm sure that I could kind of like wink at the guy and be like, yeah, and they'll let me in. But again, I don't want to be a douche. Like someone's waiting online for 2 hours to get into a bar and they let me in first. Like that's a scumbag move.
So are you taking back up the diet that you had before, or like the diet wise, is it all back on track?
Trying. I messed up a lot, but I'm trying. Now that I'm actually back into a gym and lifting, I'm taking it more seriously. What used to go Monday through Thursday being on point, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday kind of falling off, my Monday and Tuesday has been really good. And by Wednesday, I'm in the Taco Bell drive-thru. So we're trying to work on that.
Definitely. I mean, even for me out here, I've lost a lot of weight, and a lot of that has to do with your motivation. So again, thank you for that. I think I've cracked. I'm under 190 pounds now. I don't even know where I'm at now, which is really cool. More to go. I fully admit that, but I miss the gym. Yeah. Everything that you're saying there about that energy, and of course the hot yoga pants and everything else that's going on. I used to go early in the morning, but just have my work schedule. I know you're not a fan of that, but the same guys every day. Hey, how you doing? And you catch up, a little banter, all that kind of stuff. I totally miss it. Totally. I don't feel like myself if I don't have it. I'm sure it's the same for you.
It's the same exact thing. I need to feel that energy like that's in the gym, even if it's not chicks, even if it's just a bunch of dudes that's in there. You know, it's just like that energy that's in the gym, and it's not you're in competition with anybody. It's not like I'm not the type of dude like I feel like deadlifters are like that. Like, oh, that guy just pulled 405, I got to do that now. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the energy of other people that have the same like-mindedness as you, wanting to look better.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm curious about the just with your videos and such that you have going on, and you've definitely collaborated with a lot of like social media people. Are there people that are like on your wish list of someone you really want to do a video with that you haven't done with?
There's somebody, which I'm not going to say their name because we're down a path to do something very soon. But other than this person, not really. I've collabed with a handful of people because I know that's how you grow your social media. That's how people go from 500 followers to 5 million followers overnight. Is all these old Vine guys like your Logan Pauls, your King Batches, like all they do is just do videos with each other and they steal each other's followers. I never wanted to do that. I was like, you know what? I got a crew of people that I could do videos with myself. I don't want to collab with, some outside guy, because those really aren't going to be my fans. They're going to be his fans that come over and join and subscribe or follow me. The next 3 videos that they're not in, they're leaving. So I don't, that's not what I wanted to do. But I've done collabs with Ross Smith and his grandma, Michael Trapson, Jacob Berger, the Instagram cop. Who else have I done collab outside of Steel Supplements? I really can't think, but there's no one really on my Jake Paul. There's no one really on my wish list that's like, oh man, I want to do a video with them. Because
not even just to like gain followers, just because it'd be fun to like have a video that you do with them.
No, I really no. And it's hard, believe it or not, when you're 2 creators, like I consider myself a creator, and let's just say I'm doing a video with a Ross Smith. Those are like the hardest videos to do because you're always clashing ideas. Like, oh, I think it would be funny if we did this. Yeah, but what if we did it this way? No, that's not how I want to do it. Well, I don't want to do it your way. Like, and it becomes more of a chore. And believe it or not, everybody is looking out for themselves with social.
Right. They're always trying to get the extra seconds in a video. Like, well, I wanted to focus on me and you're just this. Well, I wanted to focus on me and you're like this.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you could split time and make it work, like me and Ross have made it, me and Michael Trapson have made it. All the collabs that we've did, it's always been like a 50-50 type thing, but it's a lot of work. Trust me.
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys in the chat. They want to, they're looking for all of your mods. They think this is the Glorious House of Gainz.
Oh shit! Okay.
So they're like, they're looking for Rob Walker and Zach G.
Nice. Hold on a second. I think I got a sound effect for that. Zach G.
There we go. Yeah, guys, he can see the chat if it is you were wondering. Yeah.
Let's see here. Is there any? Oh yeah, someone mentioned was it the sexy for the Tesla? But someone said you should call it the Glorious Beard Oil. I think that'd be pretty good. But
we're gonna have different scents eventually, and I know Glorious is one of the scents, the names that we have written down. We have Alpha, we have Masculine, like it's just the Robert Frankish type shit, like normal names like that. Like the one beard oil we were going to do with one of the other people, like they wanted the name of one of the beard oils to be called Campfire. It's like, what does that have to do with Robert Campfire? What the hell is that? So anyway,
that's crazy.
But, and then the promo video is just you, like maybe all the guys from the podcast sitting around a campfire, and you just come out of the woods like growling at them, like, "The fuck you doing at a campfire?"
It's I don't know. There were other names too that we were just like scratching our heads, like, like I don't want that name. And then they're like, it's funny because people, okay, so we want to name the beard oil masculine. Okay. Yeah, but that's gonna take away from female buyers. Why the fuck is a female buying beard oil? Like this is why we had to do shit ourselves. This is what we deal with.
For their man somehow? I don't know.
Maybe it's for their
still
man.
it's for him, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have bearded women, but we don't talk about that.
They don't want to exclude their trans audience.
Yeah, I know.
Paul Young is in the chat. He's like, yeah, I'm watching on Facebook right now. So yeah, he's
we're
sending his
broadcasting to
best.
both YouTube and Facebook for this. But
so you guys can go live on both places.
We've been trying that out right now to see if that's going to get more people on the engaged into the show.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
all right.
I think the premium you could do 5 locations if you do the.
Yeah, so we'll talk after the show.
We'll talk.
This is a different thing we use for streaming. It's a lot of people use this.
Rob,
we got. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, Rob, we got about 5 minutes left of the official show. I just had a couple quick questions, you could just give your answers kind of thing. What's your favorite food, man?
Oh, good question. If you're putting me on the spot for favorite food, steak.
Ribeye or sirloin?
Sirloin. Sirloin. I'll go with sirloin. My favorite steak is like top round, like the cheapest shit ever. That's like that's my favorite stuff.
Yeah. If you get a good cut and it's done right, that could be
How's
really
it cooked?
Special.
Medium.
Yeah, we'll let it pass.
I think he's all right.
I'm medium to medium well. When I go out to a restaurant, I'll always ask for medium rare because they always overcook it. And I medium. Why? What do you guys like? Steak
medium rare.
Medium rare.
Oh wow, you guys are medium rare. Okay, yeah, medium for me. MBJ like hers like to be cooked like she's chewing charcoal when she eats steak.
Yeah, because we do the Brooke and I do the carnivore diet, and while we're doing it, just eating a lot of meat, you start to have this you realize you're eating so much of this, so you have a better appreciation for you start realizing you're cooking it more and more rare with each time you're cooking the steak. I've never had anything raw, obviously, but it's like you really start to what's that?
It's like eating something different. Like if you're eating steak all the time, if you eat it medium one meal, then you eat it medium rare one meal. It's like you're eating something different when you're really not.
Well, it's when you're eating it so much, you want to try to get as much flavor out of it. Plus, if you cook it medium rare, that's also when it's the most nutritious. Because when you overcook it, it might as well just be completely dead meat. Literally, it's not as flavorful. It doesn't cut properly. You're spending more time chewing than actually just enjoying it.
I'll try the medium rare next time I have a steak. I'll let you guys know.
Let us know.
Medium rare ribeye is perfect. But anyway, go ahead, Brooke.
I do like a ribeye. All right, Rob. Next question. Where's the craziest place you've had sex?
Damn. Now that you're on the spot, I can't think. I'm kind of boring. I'm like
kind of vanilla.
Probably maybe on a bus.
On a bus
with other people on the bus.
Moving on the bus. Come on.
That would probably be it. Yeah. That's a better question for Beard So Strong because
we didn't get to that with him, but we would have. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Very unique places. But no, I would say a bus. Yeah.
A bus.
Can we ask what kind of bus?
Not a school bus, right?
No. I'm not Joey Bags. No, it was on a suburban transit bus going from I think Princeton to New York.
Good man. Yeah. Back of the bus, I assume.
Towards the back. It wasn't the back. Towards
close
the back.
Enough.
Yeah.
Amos was noticing your poster in the back, which is the one we could see. That's Back to the Future, which I think is his favorite movie.
It is.
It is. Yeah. So what?
The Goonies.
Yeah, we got the Goonies. We have the Glorious House of Gainz podcast and Night of the Living Dead over there.
Oh, brilliant.
And we have Lost Boys, of course, and Devil's Rejects and House with That. We just dressed up the studio as a recommendation from one of the AV guys that we had come over. And but yeah, what about Back to the Future?
Oh no, it's my favorite movie.
Great movie.
Oh yeah, and actually, Netflix decided to release all 3 of them. I don't know for how long, but I watched all 3 of them just the other day, and I was like, yeah, it's something about it. I mean, like, and I grew up being like a movie buff, so it's like it's just one of those movies, and then any reference you see to it, it's always like really, and it's way before my time too. I was only born in '92, and this is, 85. So for some reason, it stuck with me as my favorite movie, even though it's like there's so many other movies that I'll like. You watch a Marvel movie, there's like a different feeling from it, but when I watch Back to the Future, it's like I can keep watching it.
Oh yeah, no, the rewatch value on that, and I'm only a fan. Believe it or not, I'm only a fan of number 1. I mean, number 2 is okay, but for example, number 1, I've probably watched 1,000 times in my life. Number 2, maybe 5, 3 once.
Yeah, it's in terms of like sequels and stuff, you definitely can see the value. I mean, just like any sequel, it kind of drops a little bit.
Yeah.
But the story overall is pretty interesting. Like I can watch all 3 and kind of like, okay, I can appreciate it more than like watching, let's say, movies nowadays with their sequels, because nowadays sequels really tank. Yeah. Whereas with these 3, it's like it is less of a value, but it's still better than what we got today.
Yeah. Which is why like they only made 1 Lost Boys, like
you can't mess with it.
Lost Boys was okay. Leave it alone. Stop.
So I mean that was the question then. So would you say Back to the Future is your favorite movie, or does some other film hold that title?
No, favorite. See, I don't know if I have in like a number 1 favorite. Okay, so the movie this isn't really means that it's a favorite movie, but the movie that I've watched the most times in my life has been Empire Strikes Back from
Star Wars. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good man.
Oh, Empire. And speaking of sequels, right? Because I don't consider 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 Star Wars movies. Like they're
not canon.
No, Star Wars is 4, 5, and 6. So I thought that Empire Strikes Back was better than A New Hope, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. I was about to say, ever since the last 3, the last new ones, 1, 2, 3, I can actually deal with, whereas these new 3, I'm just like, no, I
had a different opinion on the last one, on episode 9, where a lot of people shit on it and they didn't make sense and this and that. I was digging like the Emperor's granddaughter type thing. Spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Well, that's one thing, but just a lot of the like just randomly Kylo Ren and Rey kissing. Another spoiler alert, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, again, people want it to make sense, but when you break it down, it's a movie about robots and laser swords. Like how much sense do robots make at the end of the day?
I mean, you're talking to me because I didn't see it. Like I saw The Last Jedi. I was like, no, fuck this shit. I'm not watching the next one. It's like I'll wait. I will see it eventually when it gets on Netflix, or I'm not spending good money in the cinema to go and see it. But I knew I was reading all the screen dumps and the rants and stuff, so I knew all the points. Amos tried to spoil it, and I'm like, yeah, I know. So I'll see it eventually, but no, it died for me. And I agree with you. The original trilogy is classic, timeless.
Right. 100%.
Last question on that, the quick pop and favorite song.
Toxic Masculinity.
Come on. Which is available on iTunes, Google Play, where else?
SoundCloud. It's everywhere.
Now, are you making money off the iTunes downloads?
Yeah. SoundCloud downloads, iTunes. People could purchase it for, I think it's 99 cents. It does well. It did a lot better than I thought it would for being my first song. But that's really not my favorite song. I don't know. I really don't know if I have a favorite song. You couldn't pinpoint one favorite movie really, or one favorite song. I have like a group of favorite songs.
Right.
So
maybe favorite band then. You know, that might be easier.
Favorite band. I would say maybe Godsmack.
Good,
Okay.
good music.
Yeah, I like Godsmack from what are they considered? Not really heavy metal, maybe hard rock, heavy metalish.
Yeah, metal. Yeah, metal. I'd say. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, and Peter Steele, his band. I forget the name off the top of my head. I can't think of the name. But yeah, his band.
That wasn't Typo Negative. No, who is
Typo Negative? Yes, Typo Negative.
Type. Yes. Oh, great music. You know.
Yeah, Typo Negative and Godsmack are probably my two favorite like bands that I listen to all day long.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Well, I mean, Amos, I don't know if you want to go on. I mean, that's an hour and a half there.
I think we'll just wrap it up here. So
NBJ. So
yeah, okay. So of course, real quick, we just housekeeping stuff again. Like the video, comment if you guys want to leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of the show. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to us on the podcast. Check out, of course, again, Tactical Soap. 10K Rum gives you 10% off. And then, of course, our Subscribe Star, just like Patreon, gives you the ability to support us on a monthly basis.
Don't forget to check out the Glorious House of Gainz podcast, available on all podcasting platforms.
We're going to get you like a ton of fans from here, Rob.
And of course, look for merchandise on RobertFrank615.com. Do you have the ka-ching? Good man. Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for making the time to come on. You've been a phenomenal guest.
Thank you. No, it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, of course, everyone, we will see everyone next week. And